What is going on, everybody? It is Dylan with Astrodfs, bringing you a brand new video. Today's video, I'm going over the XFL Week 4 Sunday slate. The two games, Arlington at St. Louis and Vegas at DC. Now, if you came here from yesterday's video and you're just looking for the Sunday video to kind of see where I'm at with my lineup, I pretty much only set one lineup. Not trying to get too invested into the DFS space yet. As far as XFL, NFL, a different story, but XFL, just trying to play it, feel things out, stuff like that, and adjust to it. So as of right now, the lineup's not looking too bad. You can see the ownership, and this is for the tournament. Alien for Houston, obviously Lee got in there and got the 2 touchdowns. He got all the points. Pearson had a good game. Kirkland had a really good game. I continue to mention it. Tolliver stepped up for me. Latimer did his thing, and then Houston's defense had a really good game, and I'm looking at A.J. McCarron as my last piece tonight. So, with that being said, yeah, A.J. McCarron, 10-7 against this Arlington defense I mentioned yesterday. Arlington is banged up defensively. St. Louis, I mean, we could look at their numbers here. Not the greatest, but as you can see, Arlington is bottom 3 in passing yards allowed, and this is before the 2 Saturday games. In St. Louis on that top half of passing. So Aitman not in for St. Louis, so that is a bit of a worry. And by bit, I mean not that much, especially with how Shepard played. But A.J. McCarron, yes, one of the quarterbacks that I'm looking at. I like Brent Hundley and then Kyle Slaughter as a tournament play. Obviously, for the DC side, I'm going to continue to just fade them. You look at Tiamu last week, has a really good game, 23 fantasy points against St. Louis. And you look at Vegas here, Vegas DC, really, really bad in the past, which is why I like Brent Hundley in this matchup. I like Vegas. I'm taking that spread, 6.5 if you can get it. Hopefully we can get to 7, but as of right now, about 6.5 is what we're looking at. So A.J. McCarron, Brent Hundley are my 2, if you're doing cash, those are my 2 recommendations for cash. Slaughter is more of a tournament play, and we are fading DC. A.J. McCarron's my quarterback 1. If I had to do quarterback 2, Brent Hundley. Those are my 2 guys. Obviously the most 2 expensive, so you're going to have to find some discount somewhere else. Running back, we have Abram Smith, 8,400 against Vegas, like him. Devin Smith, 7,300, sorry, against St. Louis. Not the biggest fan, I think, for what you have at running back, though. He's probably one of the 3, maybe 4 running backs that we're looking at. Brian Hill right now is my number 1, just because of the pricing, 6,600. Abram Smith, both Smiths, sorry, Abraham and Devon, I don't know why I'm struggling. 7,300, both of them, they're behind Brian Hill for me, honestly. 6,600, just a matchup. Granted, we can look here and see Arlington, as far as against the rush, the best. But, if you missed yesterday's video, this is what we pointed out. Is just his receiving stats that he gets from the backfield is why we like him as well, not just on the rushing upside. So, Brian Hill is my number 1 for running back. So both St. Louis players are my number 1s right now. Armstead is a good tournament piece to get in there as well. And then we go to wide receiver / tight end, and this is where you start to try to get different, and I don't think you really can. Jeff Badette with Brent Hundley. Yes, like, I get he's $1,400 more than Akeem Butler, and I like Akeem Butler as well. But Jeff Badette against DC, that secondary, I like DC secondary. They just give up a lot of yards, clearly. And we get a rematch, and a lot of people want to put that game where Vegas was held to 6 points, but if you remember how the weather was, it was pretty hard to pass. So this is also Brent Hundley getting his 3rd week in, his 2nd with fully starting So Jeff Badet, 97, yes. Keem Butler, yes, as well, especially with Aitman out. 8,300 Akeem Butler. If you can't pay up to Jeff Badet, Akeem Butler's another name. Sal Cannella at 7,800. A fact that I did not know, and this is just me not knowing my prior history, is Slaughter and Cannella used to be teammates. So that's even another plus for Cannella. Still being one of the more consistent tight ends in this league, going against St. Louis's defense. I just like St. Louis at home. Projected over 30,000 plus. I mean, not just projected. Like, they've sold over 30,000 tickets to that game. I believe it's supposed to set a record for highest attendance for a spring football game. Crazy. I really can't wait for that game. And we keep going down. Darius Shepard, I mentioned he's kind of a dual threat as far as points. Almost had 2 kick returns last week. Got included the most in the passing game than he has all season. With Aitman out, has that potential to step up. We keep going down. Austin Proehl, I mentioned I like him. 6,000 if you want to get off Shepard and save $900. Yes, I think he's a good piece to add. Lucky Jackson down here at 4,700. If you're looking for a cheap wide receiver, he's one of 2. And the other guy that I really like is Tyler Vaughn's here, 46 and 47. If you need to pay down, these are 2 guys. Tyler Vaughn's just surprisingly, we can't really see the targets here, but surprisingly rising in targets for this league. So something to definitely watch out for, especially with Slaughter, the quarterback change, finding a connection. Yes, like that is something that we want to try to take advantage of there for pricing. Chris Blair at 4,500 is another name, but I'd rather just pay 47 for Lucky Jackson. I just go with what I see. Lucky Jackson appears to be the #1 most consistent guy for DC, so that's kind of what I'm looking at there. Some other names. Snacks Sweeting is a name. Down here, Jake Sutherland, 2,800 is a name to consider with Aitman being out. Other than that, you're just taking some risks. And defense, I don't know. Obviously, I want to say Arlington and St. Louis are my 2 defenses that I'm targeting. And the reason I kind of want to target St. Louis is, granted, we might see a different Arlington offense with Slaughter getting another week. But you look at their numbers as a whole, and for how far back they are, I mean, 56 yards behind San Antonio. And some of the teams they face, they should be able to have more yards, especially against Orlando. They struggled very hard. But the Battlehawks, you're facing that struggling offense, so not a lot of points to be scored. Only 3 offensive touchdowns so far this season. So you look here, St. Louis, bottom of that of sacks, second most sacks allowed going into the week. Arlington getting defensive touchdowns, sacks, stuff like that. So those are my 2 defenses. So I'm going to try to make, I did not do it in yesterday's video, I'm going to try to make an example line just going off of what I really like here. Get that defense in. I want to get St. Louis, so big stack on St. Louis so far. We're going to go down and see if we need to pay down yet. We get Jeff Badet, we get Lucky Jackson, we get 2 flexes. Who do we want to fit in there? Let's get Cannella in there. And then we need a St. Louis receiver to go with them, and we're just going to go Austin Proehl. So that's just an example line. If you guys want to use it, by all means, feel free. That's just an example off names that I like, just off the top of the head. So hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I will have my first look going over week 5's matchups. I believe we have not a main slate. It'll be spread out, so I think we have 3 showdowns, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll try to have videos. I can't guarantee, but I will try to have videos going over all of those as well. And if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to comment. I can have my Twitter linked in the description down below, so you guys can go that. DM me on that. Tweet me, whatever you guys want to do to ask questions about this. I'm not a guru. I'm not a genius. Anything like this. I just go based off of what I see in these games, and just go based off of watching NFL for so long, translating that into the XFL, where there's a lot of opportunity to be made. So I will see you guys in the next one.